All right, the Reaper 666 Alliance members, real quick, I want to talk about a little bit of a strategy for war. It's not that big of a deal if we don't follow through with this. It's just to kind of put some perspective on boxes and how to go after them and what to go after. I don't know if we're going to do it, but for a perfect, it's just an example. But this war, we had medbay, and then below medbay was security. Um, and then I think what's going to happen is we have barracks over here next to security. I think it's going to be armory on the other side. But either way, I don't know if we're going to. If we don't go after security, that's fine. But if we do end up going after security and taking out security, it would have been a lot better once we took out that right side of medbay to go down and take out security and then gone back up and finished medbay. And the reason why for that is because, yes, medbay does add 40% health to them, but that's not really too big of a deal, especially when you're using counters. But defense down does make a huge difference when it comes to your counters. Defense down can make the difference between a counter working and a counter not working. For a perfect example, my power armor team, I think my record, they're 340, 350,000 in total collection power. My record is taking on a 750,000 in power defenders team. So that's the 300,000 they were stronger than me, and I still defeated them. But when it came to defense down, I went in to take on a defenders team that was like 550,000, like 200,000 weaker. And, oh wait, 350,000, 750,000. Yeah, that's 400,000. That's 400,000 weaker. So so I took on a 750,000 defenders team with 350,000 power armor team. That's 400,000. They were stronger than me. I went into a defense down box to take on a 550,000 defenders team, and I lost. So that's a big difference there. Not only were they 200,000 weaker than what I normally take on, but I even still lost. So we're spinning so we would have went down and took out security, and that would have been 16 teams with defense down that we would have had to use strong, powerful teams to defeat. But since we went stuck on medbay and finished medbay, and we do go back down to security, that's going to be 32 teams. Or 24 teams, I guess. 24 teams. So that's going to be an extra 8 teams that we're going to have to use more power than needed to defeat. And that's going to be a big game changer at the end of the war. You know, you're going to use teams that you wouldn't have had to use, or you're going to use teams and then not be able to defeat the team, or you're going to have to defeat a team of 5 with 2 different teams instead of just one team. It makes a huge difference. Those 8 teams, we're going to end up using a lot more power that we could have been probably saved and used at the end of war if we would have went down and finished out security first. I don't think that's going to apply this time because I don't think we're going to go down to security. I think we're going to work our way up and go away from security. I think we're about to open up another box. It's going to either be reactor or bridge or armory, whichever one. We're going to assess that, and it's going to be between that and I think cargo bay. Cargo bay looks pretty fucking decent, but that's just an idea to give you guys. Like, that 40% health does help their defense a little bit, but nothing like that defense down. That defense down, really, it's always best if we can to just take out one side, get down to that defense down security box and take out security, because it's a huge difference, huge game changer. If we work our way around, especially if that security is in the middle, and we work our way around those 4 boxes that are around security and take that out, we're going to use a lot of power as if we were just going and take that security out. So security is always kind of like one of our main focus. Like, bridge and reactor aren't that big of a focus for me. And the reason why, this is really important. If you take out bridge, that's 200 points plus 80 points. So that's 280 points, right? But we've had situations before where we have put in a lot of energy taking out bridge and we didn't finish it. We weren't able to finish it. It was too strong. We ended up losing, and we ended up not getting that 200 points. So we ended up only getting like 60 points. It is much more beneficial to take out 2 50-point boxes, which is 80 and 80 plus 100, 280 points. Oh wait, 80, 80, 160 plus 100 points, so 260 points. It's much better to get that 260 points than to go after the bridge and only get 60 points because we weren't able to finish it. So to me, that's kind of like my main focus. I don't really care about bridge and reactors all that much. Like, I think people get a little blindsided and lose wars because they go after that. Well, a perfect example, I don't know if I'm saying his name right, but Byros or whatever his name is, he had like 30 some defend victories because they just spent all their energy trying to take out that 200-point box. Like 32 defend victories off of his Black Order. And if they would have took those 32 teams and put them on other boxes, they probably would have beat us. They wasted so much energy trying to get that 200-point box, and it's not that. And then they didn't get it, so they ended up only getting 75 points instead of the 280. And if they would have put those teams onto another box, they would have beat us. They would have beat us, but they wasted it. They wasted it on the fucking bridge because the bridge is not that important. Boxes are. Two 50-point boxes is better than going after the bridge and not getting it at all. So to me, security is kind of a main focus, and then barracks and armory. Those three right there, I'd much rather take those out than get bridge or reactor any day. That's really important for us to remember. So let's try and focus on that for future references, because we're gonna save teams and not have to use as much power, and kind of focus on those, not really worry about the bridge. If we get in there and we assess the situation on a bridge and it seems pretty doable, then we'll go after it. But let's just kind of keep focusing, working as a team. We kind of had some people in this alliance that kind of upset me. They went after Flight Deck 2. There wasn't a target on it. They wasted millions. Like, I think CRM C80, he went and put a 400,000 team that had 400,000 power on that Flight Deck 2, and we're probably not even going to finish it. You know, it was such a waste. He could have used that 400,000 on something else. Death Knot, Mikey Mayhem, CRM C80, and then I think there was one other person, Commander Dogie. The four of you went and spent millions in power on that box that we could have used elsewhere. It would have been a lot better if you would have used those. Even if you don't take out a full 5 team, it would have benefited us a lot better working towards taking out a box that's going to benefit us than it would be working on a box that's getting us 5 points. You know, because that million in power could have been the difference between completing a box and not completing a box. Like, it could have been to a situation where it comes down to the brass tacks into the war, and you guys could have came in with those powers and possibly might have took you a couple hits and a couple attacks with multiple teams, but could have maybe at least finished off some characters to break up that team synergy, so where somebody else could come in and finish it up, or you could have had to use multiple teams and finish up a box. Like, that's a huge, big deal. Like, that could be the difference between winning a war and losing a war right there. It's not working together as alliance. We need to stick together, focus on one box at a time. Sometimes I do put multiple targets on boxes because I will see, like we did today, I think it was engineering and something else, I forget what it was, but they were both pretty doable. It was early in the war, and I was like, yeah, let's go ahead, and we focused on those 2 boxes. And that was okay. You know, it gave us a little bit more options to attack and stuff like that. But going off the path that we are on, working our way through, taking out boxes, and then going off on a different path and making your own path on Flight Deck 2, that's not helping us. It's not benefiting us in any way, shape, or form. So, and you guys really need to stick to your team synergies. Google war counters. I'm telling you, you need to Google your war counters. There's videos you can watch. Because sometimes war counters, it isn't just going through and using your basic attack. Sometimes you got to mix it up. Like symbiotes with anti-venom will take out marauders. They will take out marauders at a straight punch across, but you can't use any of their specials. You got to use their basic attacks until Emma Frost does her thing. I forget what it is, but adds all her buffs, and then you go in there and you like flip strifes, I think, to negatives or something like that. I forget. I got to go back in and rewatch it, but symbiotes, anti-venoms will take out marauders at a straight punch across, not with defense down. And if they take down our armory and they still have their barracks, probably not going to do a straight punch across. But if we still have our armory, and they still have their barracks, and there's not defense down, you do it right. You can use symbiotes with anti-venom to take out marauders. So that's kind of a big one. So Google counters. If you don't know if you can take out a team, just go and look at some of the teams and kind of Google counters. Say, M Marauders counter Marvel Strike Force. MSF is what I put. Symbiotes counter MSF. You know, Google your counters and don't waste your teams, because some of you, I even see, you'll use like a 500,000 team power, 450,000 team power against like a 250,000 team. And it's like, man, you could have used that somewhere else. Definitely. But I also get, like, sometimes I'll do that too. Like, sometimes it's like, hey, kind of at a standstill, nobody's attacking, we need to keep moving forward. So you'll go in, take it out of team, and that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. But definitely, we just need to work on some of this stuff. I can't stress enough, guys, your team synergies, counters, and stick with the group. Work together. We need to finish boxes. Even if you're going to go in, like, don't get me wrong, I like to go in there and take out all 5 too. But you'll see me do it sometimes. Like, I'll go in and I'll take on the Asgardians with my symbiotes, and I'll take out 2 or 3 of them, and then somebody else will come in and clean up after me. Like, I do it all the time. And it's just because to keep moving forward. Like, I like getting War MVP, but I'd rather help the Alliance conquer boxes and win wars than to go off the beaten path and just do whatever the hell we want. And it's working. We're working together, and it's proving that this system is working. We've had this problem a while back where I said that, and it was a long time ago, but we were splitting up, and we just had like 5 or 6 boxes that we were attacking and not completing boxes. And I said, hey, this has got to stop. We need to start focusing on boxes, working together. And we started finishing off boxes. I said bridge wasn't that important, and we started winning. And the next thing I know, we're at gold 4. And it seems like once we got gold 4, we started doing that again. We started splitting up and not working together as a team. And then now this week, all 3 of these wars this week were tough alliances, all 3 of them. Like, I look at them all, and like, there's one guy in here, I think he's like 8 million, 9 million in total collection power, and there's another one that's like 8 million. Like, there's some tough teams in this alliance. That barracks box has got a tough, both those guys are tough. That's why we're kind of skipping them. It would be nice to take that barracks down, but I also feel like that would be like going after that box and not being able to feed it is going to hurt us more than leaving it. So it really does pay off to work together. Team synergies, counters, strategy, working together, guys. We need to stick to this method. That's going to get us to platinum. We're getting close to platinum. It's a 250 points from gold 4 to platinum, and we're like 70-some points away, I think, after this war if we win. That's big. So that's going to put us way over the threshold. And it's only going to happen if we work together as an alliance. So people need to stop just doing whatever they want and work on those counters, work together as a team, stick together.